We have multiple areas of rotation across the area. It's kind of starting to go down just a little bit. And so we got to focus on these areas of rotation. One of those is in Wayne County. The other is in Forest County. The other is to the south in Pearl River County. About to move into Lamar County. Plenty of areas of rotation that we have right now. The most impressive one is going to be in Wayne County. This is in southern Wayne County. Just went over Hollis Creek right now. Over, I think that is County Road 201 and about to cross over Highway 63 is what I'm seeing with this. I would not be shocked if this gets tornado warned very soon. It looks like it probably needs to be tornado warned, along with some other cells that we have across South Mississippi. The mobile radar does not look as good, if I'm going to be honest, than the Jackson radar. His perspective on this cell in Wayne County. But overall, I mean, there's definitely some broad rotation in Jasper County, and that's why I keep looking at the Jackson radar. It has the best look at it. This is higher up in the atmosphere, but I mean, the signs are still there. No cameras on this because this is out in the middle of nowhere. However, we can look at the other areas of rotation we have right now. One of those to the west of Lumberton, one of those to the east of Purvis. We have some other little areas of rotation, but nothing like the area of rotation that's in southern Wayne County. New flash flood warning in Texas. Right now, that's one issue we're really seeing with this system is flash flooding. We have one tornado warning over in Louisiana right now. That is in Natchitoches Parish. It is not radar indicated. It's just sitting there. So I'm just giving you a brief overview of what this system is showing right now. That's kind of where we're sitting right now. Multiple areas of rotation beginning. So what's going to happen is these cells out here in southwestern Mississippi and central Louisiana. Well, I say south central Louisiana. I'll draw it out here. These cells out here are going to have the best chance of tornado development here in the next little bit. You have this other area that I'm going to highlight in pink that currently has some tornado development with it. I don't know if that will produce a tornado. However, as soon as this line moves off to the east, all of a sudden these conditions that are over south central Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi is going to move off to the east and into the Pine Belt, into the Gulf Coast region of Mississippi. And we will see another tornado threat across South Mississippi from I-20 south. So that is what we're watching right now. And as we continue to just watch these cells to see if they'll try to produce anything. And that's really just been the story of the day, is what are these storms going to do? It's hard to tell. It's a slight risk, but man, a lot of these storms have been in some decent conditions to produce rotation. Just it really depends on if they can get to the ground or not. Yeah, you can see that area of rotation really formed out quick with this storm and then has since gone away after it crossed over Highway 63 to the southwest of Waynesboro. So this is going to go right over Waynesboro. If I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give us like a cone for this area of rotation. If we look at it off to the northeast, this will cross over Waynesboro in about 12 minutes. So in 12 minutes, this will be over downtown Waynesboro. This will continue off to the northeast over Gilbert Town in Alabama and then Needham in Alabama. This will keep off to the northeast towards Butler, Alabama. And that is what we are continuing to watch for now. If you know anybody in South Wayne County or in Wayne County in general, let them know about this storm. But this is not the end either. Once this passes, we have more weather that will come through tonight. Let's make that clear. This is not the last round of potential tornado development today. Some other areas of rotation down farther south. This one that's to the south of Bogalusa, Louisiana, moving on to the northeast towards Poplarville. We're watching this one. You got this other area rotation. We talked about it to the west of Lumberton that will cross over Interstate 59 and Highway 11 here before too long in Forest County. The other one is in Forest. And unfortunately, we keep losing radar data little by little sometimes with these cells, or with our programs and everything. Lots of weather going on across the southeast, and that's causing some internet issues when it comes to servers connecting. So I think that's what's probably going on. Um, the Mobile radar showing some very contaminated rotation here in Wayne County. So it's not looking as impressive anymore. But the Jackson radar still shows a little bit of tighter rotation there. However, I'd still say that the Mobile radar is closer, and it's just showing a jumbled up mess in Wayne County right now. Something may be able to spin up very quickly, but it's going to be hard to tell. Lots of contamination in the storm that is in southern Wayne County. We have not seen a tornado watch issued yet. I do expect a tornado watch to maybe get issued later tonight. However, I can't know that for certain. They might think that this is a low enough risk that a tornado watch does not need to be issued. However, I cannot know that for certain. This is looking with the not Slidell anymore, with the Hammond, Louisiana radar. We're using that to track this line of storms from Covington, Louisiana, up towards Waynesboro and into Alabama. But overall, I mean, it's a mess. We have a flood advisory in Waynesboro right now. This is for, let's see what it's for. The National Weather Service in Mobile has issued a flood advisory until 8:45 for Perry County and Wayne County for minor flooding in low-lying areas. At 5:38, Doppler radar indicated heavy rain due to thunderstorms. Between an inch and a half and 2.5 inches of rain has fallen, and additional rain amounts up to 1 to 2 inches are expected. So be aware, in Wayne County, you have a flood advisory over you right now. These cells farther south are going to have the better ingredients for storm development. They have some better thermodynamics down south and some more untapped energy. And so that's why we're going to have to really look closely at the storms to the south, like this one. That's basically between Bogalusa and Poplarville currently. Let's see if I can find any cameras at all near Waynesboro. Probably not. Here's a camera we have from Wiggins, Mississippi right now. You can't really see a lot with it, but just a blanket of clouds in the distance. Some storms are there farther in the distance, but overall, this sky cam's a little bit too far away to really tell what's going on. So those are just a little bit too far away. Not really any good camera angles to show us what these storms are doing. Here's an angle from Hattiesburg. This is looking off to the north. No, not to the north. This is looking off to the south, I'm pretty sure. No, this is looking off to the east, actually. Sorry. Just looking into that line of storms. Very dark clouds. So that's what we're seeing right now. Still watching another area of rotation now forming here in Wayne County. This new area of rotation is over Highway 63 right now, so the northeast of the community of Henderson. This will move off to the northeast towards Winchester and towards Buckatuna, and will eventually cross over Highway 45, probably north of state line. So we continue on. I know it's not too active right now. It's not very interesting. We're just kind of looking at the same things over and over and over again. But one thing I want to look is, let's take a look at some estimated radar amounts from MRMS. I want to look at 24-hour precipitation estimates so far. This is estimates over the last 24 hours. This is showing upwards of 4.5 inches in portions of Wayne County. I know I've heard of 6 inches in east of Butchie earlier today, so some of these are a little low, but I mean, we're seeing areas upwards of 5.5 inches of rain across southern Mississippi, and that's why we're really seeing our flood threat right now. But this is what the whole system looks like currently. Just a bunch of showers and thunderstorms across the southeast right now, with that severe potential across southern Louisiana and southern Mississippi. Still multiple areas of rotation that we've been talking about, but it's kind of hard to keep just watching those and babysitting those whenever that's just kind of the story of the night so far. Like I said, more tornado development is expected later on tonight. I'm not really impressed with all this line spanning from Waynesboro to Poplarville right now, but it is showing signs of rotation, which is why I'm live right now. Plus, I know some people appreciate a weather update right now. Looking off to the west, you have this storm that's to the west of Tylertown, between Macomb and Tylertown, that spans up towards Monticello. But this does not look too tornadic right now. Doesn't look all that impressive. It is showing some signs of slight rotation, but nothing out of the ordinary. You then have more rain near Brookhaven, but this is just simply some rain showers. Rain up near McGee as well. Just simple rain showers up farther north and farther to the west. If we look more towards the Mississippi-Louisiana state line, that's where we get a little more action towards Faraday, Fayette, and south of Vicksburg. But overall on radar not looking too impressive along the state line, along the Mississippi River. What did look impressive earlier was some of these cells over in Louisiana, like this cell south of the community of Atlanta, Louisiana. This is south of Winfield. Pretty good looking shape with this cell, but these conditions will move these conditions that this storm is in will move farther into South Mississippi as we go into tonight. It's very good that we're seeing this line kind of fall apart. That's moving to the west in the Pine Belt region of Mississippi. Very good that we're seeing these storms kind of fall apart slightly. They might be running out of steam. It's not completely over just yet. These storms are still trying to rotate. But as soon as these storms move out, we might be good for another hour or so before we can see more potential tornado development. And like I said, it sucks that I'm talking about so many areas of rotation, but nothing's happening. But it's the waiting game, and I guess it's a good thing these things are not getting to the ground, just because that's just the nature of the day. There's plenty of lower level shear, but the issue is upper level shear. Can the upper levels help the lower levels produce a tornado and get some lift and all that? It's pretty good though that we're not seeing that happen, because I think we've only had 2 or 3 confirmed tornadoes today across Mississippi. And so we'll need to continue to watch that. Well, what will it be like in Lawrence County? That's a good question. I think as the night goes on, I think you're under a pretty decent, not decent, you're under a slight tornado risk tonight, just like all of South Mississippi. These storms that are going through right now are not really the biggest deal as of right now still. While they might produce, while they could produce a small spin-up tornado, they could produce something here in the next little bit. These are not the talk of the night so far. These cells down here right now are not the talk of the town. As we go farther into the night, as we get closer to midnight, closer to the early morning hours, that's when we're going to see the biggest tornado potential across South Mississippi. So I'm just going to say Lawrence County is in the same boat as almost all of South Mississippi south of I-20. You have a slight tornado risk tonight. It's not the most impressive tornado risk in the world, but I definitely think the potential is there. So we'll need to watch it. The conditions tonight are expected to be more favorable than they were earlier and than they are right now. At least for tornado development. Let me say it that way. Good question. Any other questions for now? I'm, of course, not going to go off air right now. Just as we're babysitting these storms that are over the south, that are over South Mississippi and the Pine Belt through Forest County, Lamar County, Perry County, and Wayne County. Also, some other little bits of rotation in Pearl River County, but those are a little weaker and a little less mature in terms of being cells. If we look at the Jackson radar and we take a look at storm total precip from the Jackson radar, this is going to tell us a different story in terms of flooding. We talked about like East Abuchi, how East Abuchi had 6 inches of rainfall earlier and even more now. If we take a look, we're seeing localized areas of rain upwards of 6.5 inches in North Forest County and North Lamar County. Also in portions of southern Jones County, we're seeing some localized area near 5 inches of rain, even 6 inches of rain. Sorry, in parts of Walthall and Marion counties, and also part of Amite County. We're just so much rain has poured over South Mississippi, and I really, I commend, like I congratulate the Weather Prediction Center. They've done a really good job at predicting the flooding threat here across South Mississippi. It's been very, very heavy so far. But these are estimates. It could be higher, it could be lower. But we are really seeing a pretty big flood threat across South Mississippi, spanning from near Baton Rouge up towards Tuscaloosa. I'm going to pull up a sky cam real quick, looking from Hattiesburg. Okay, I guess I'm not pulling up a sky cam right now. There we go. This is looking off to the east. You can see some good looking clouds there to the east of Hattiesburg. These are storms that are moving away from the hub city right now. It's a long night ahead, at least for me, in terms of monitoring the radar for a good portion of the night. But I know it's also going to be a good it's going to be a long night for many people across Mississippi. Actually, going to need to switch to the sky cam right quick and restart the radar real quick. Just real quick. Nope. Yeah, but beautiful, at least some beautiful clouds to the east of Hattiesburg right now. Sorry, I had to test out a few things. Okay, we're good now. Sorry for the flashing on the screen a little bit. We're good now. I had to fix some things. Oh, wow. We just switched off of that good lightning seen from the sky cam in Hattiesburg. Wow. Some beautiful lightning with this cell. We're going to continue to look at it for just a little bit. New severe thunderstorm warning in Grant and Wynn parishes. So it's a new severe thunderstorm warning in Louisiana. A new flash flood warning. This includes Forest, Jones, and Lamar counties. That makes sense. We've seen so much rain dropped across. You'll be watching from Brookhaven. Yeah, I think you'll have the greatest tornado threat earlier in the night. You'll have the greatest tornado threat earlier in the night, but I think the greatest risk, even though it's still kind of barely relative, is going to be more towards the Pine Belt region. While I'm looking at the sky cam, let me move this over here, the radar real quick. Let me try to see some things from the National Weather Service while y'all are able to watch this camera here. I'm trying to see what the National Weather Service is saying right now. That's why I'm giving y'all a screen to look at, or a nice little camera shot to look at. What in the world's going on? Okay. Having some internet problems here in South Mississippi connecting to some National Weather Service stuff. They issued at 3:46 today, so about 2 hours ago, that there was a 20% chance of a watch being issued across South Mississippi and Louisiana. And so they're saying currently a gradual increase in a tornado threat is, I'm just going to read this. A gradual increase in the tornado threat is possible into the early evening. Damaging wind and isolated hail are also possible. Watch issuance through the remainder of the afternoon appears unlikely. But a tornado watch will likely be needed some point this afternoon. So that's where we're hearing. That's what we're hearing right now. So as we go into the nighttime hours, there's a few things that are going to help produce some severe weather. One of those is going to be a shortwave trough that's moving through. We'll look at models actually here in a second, before too long. Yeah, we'll look at some models here in a second. But yes, they're saying that a tornado watch will more than likely be needed before too long. Sorry, I'm a one-man team, so I'm having to make some posts and some updates right now while you all are able to watch this sky cam right here. Whoops. Sorry, I was dealing with something real quick. Let's put this right here. Okay. Sorry, just had to deal with something real quick in terms of writing a post. Since I am a one-man band. Okay, here we go. Okay. We're back. Let's start looking at some more. Let's start looking at some models. Let me pull up Pivotal Weather. And let's move over and start looking at the stream here. Oh, whoops. Sorry, that's not the correct monitor. What in the world's going on up there? Okay. Okay, don't know why that was not working. Not properly, at least. Sorry, had to deal with some camera stuff. I don't know why something didn't show up right. Anyways, let's look at some models. Let's get this for South Mississippi. So that's what we're going to look at. Look at what our, or what the, golly, that scared me. Okay, so over South Mississippi across the next several hours, we're expecting robust, not robust, but we're expecting some tornado development. I'm going to go back just a little bit. In 1 hour, we get a new HRRR run, which is our high resolution model that we will need to be watching. But what's going to happen is the storms are going to move off to the east, going to move off to the north, and going to move out of South Mississippi. And so you see this clear area that kind of comes into effect across South Mississippi and central Louisiana. This is what we're worried about, is that these cells are going to get in a clean environment by themselves. And so this is showing for midnight. So this is around midnight whenever this clearing is going to happen. And after midnight is when we're expecting storms to be possible across South Mississippi. It's going to be after midnight, and then those storms really start developing and moving off to the north. This is probably a little farther north as well. Let's say the risk is up towards the I-20 corridor as well, as we have multiple cells that are going to be across South Mississippi capable of producing a tornado in the early morning hours. This is towards 2 a.m. and probably towards like 3 a.m. It's going to be around that time area. It's normal Dixie Alley, Mississippi tornado stuff, late night tornadoes, which is not what we like to see. I'm going to turn on the significant tornado parameter, which shows us what areas can likely see a higher end risk of a tornado. Well, a higher risk of a tornado. The STP is showing some areas near the state line of Mississippi and Louisiana here in the next few hours are favorable for tornado development. But then as we go in throughout the night, that risk starts moving off into South Mississippi and into the Pine Belt region of Mississippi, where we could see some tornadoes up to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And so it's going to be a long night across South Mississippi in terms of watching the radar. We take a look at CAPE, which is convective active potential energy. Plenty of energy across South Mississippi. Lots of the energy across not South Mississippi, I meant Louisiana. Lots of the energy across South Mississippi has kind of been taken away by the storms that are there currently. But as we move into the night, we kind of get more of a broad area of convection that's able to move into South Mississippi as the night goes. So it's going to be a very localized little tornado threat early in the morning tonight. And so you can see just, whoa, sorry, I don't know what just happened. Yeah, you see this little area in South Mississippi here that we just have a bunch of energy that the atmosphere is going to be able to use. And so I want to take a look at some soundings here, if I can. Some model soundings here. I want to see what the HRRR is thinking the atmosphere can do. So let's look here. Let's look at Northern Forest County. This is at, I don't know what time this is valid for. Having some internet troubles connecting the servers across Mississippi. Yeah, this looks decent. This is, I mean, it's not the most convection ever in the world, but the hodograph looks pretty good in terms of having lower level rotation that can produce some tornadoes. So I would say, this is at 3 a.m. I would say that we definitely have a risk of some tornadoes across South Mississippi early in the morning. This is another sounding about the same thing. It looks like the atmosphere will recover in time to have a tornado threat in the morning hours, sometime after midnight and before 6 a.m. So from midnight to 6 a.m. is when we're going to see the most likely tornado threat. Sorry. So let's now move over to this camera real quick while I move back over to the radar. Not really seeing a whole lot on the radar right now. Yeah, radar is looking about the same. And we still got some areas of very broad rotation, but honestly, on a radar, they don't look all that impressive. How's the forecast looking for Cleveland, Mississippi? Cleveland is way up north. I'm not really concerned with Cleveland at all. Yeah, here's Cleveland. So for Cleveland, all of the main severe storms is going to be well south of Cleveland. I'm not even sure if Cleveland is still in the SPC outlook. Let me check something real quick. I'm not expecting anything crazy for Cleveland. I think you're far enough north where all you're going to get is some heavy rain. Not really any severe weather expected up there in Cleveland, if I'm certain. Yeah, Cleveland's under a marginal risk for severe weather. I don't really think it'll be. I don't think you're really going to see anything too major in Cleveland. Just some heavy rain and maybe a thunderstorm or two up there in the Delta. Any questions before I go for a little bit while we let these storms move out of South Mississippi? Nice little weather update right now. If there's any questions right now, please go ahead and ask them so I can go ahead and answer those right now. Golly. Bug flying in my eye. What in the world? Freaking those ladybug looking beetles. Golly, those are so annoying. Yeah, I think for now, I think we'll be good for the next little bit. For now, if we have a tornado warning, of course, I'll come live. I'm probably going to wait till a tornado warning gets issued next time to come live. Or I might go live to do some updates. But for now, I need to keep resting my voice. Just think, what in the world? Give me 1 second. I don't know what in the world just happened. Hello? Oh, what just happened? Um, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to fix whatever just happened. I know you can hear me. You can't see me. Um, okay. Oh, there we go. Don't know what in the world just happened. That was interesting. I was refreshing the ticker at the bottom because sometimes it needs refreshing and it was not having it. It just completely made my screen go blank. Okay, let's go ahead and look. Let's answer some of these questions. Let's look. Okay. Maybe I can. I think I just lost power. Can you hear me still? I don't know what just happened. The power just flickered. I think a squirrel just got fried. I might be wrong. Because I saw something go bright outside and then the power dimmed for just a second. So sorry, everything's kind of going crazy right now. That was wild. So let's take a look at these questions. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this doc so I can read the questions a little easier. Okay, here we go. We would welcome some rain here along the coast. Just rain, no wind, please. Yeah, I think that's what we're all hoping for tonight. I could see a little localized, uh, maybe waterspout slash tornado risk along the Gulf Coast in the early morning hours tomorrow. We'll continue to watch that throughout the morning hours tomorrow. Okay, radar. Anyways, what is it looking like for Summerall between Columbia and Hattiesburg? Summerall. Yep. Let's look. So for Summerall currently, you just have some rain showers moving in. Off to the west, you have this bigger line of like a cell that doesn't look all that impressive, but is there off to the west and will probably give you some rain in a little bit. I don't really know if I'll worry about that cell for rotation purposes. But for now in Summerall, you're just going to experience a little more rain. About the same thing I've been saying for all of South Mississippi. Sometime between midnight and 6 a.m. is when we're going to see a tornado threat come through South Mississippi. So just be aware of that. Have your alerts on. There will be probably a tornado watch issued tonight, and then have alerts on just in case your area gets placed under a tornado warning tonight. Any more questions before I go off for a little bit? All right. Well, if that's it, just know that there's still the big flash flooding concern in South Mississippi. Multiple flash flood warnings have been issued, and more rain is to come. More rain is to come, and we already have some areas probably up to 7 inches of rain. We have a lot of rain across South Mississippi. Flooding threat is there. Remember the tornado threat that's more localized from midnight to 12, or not midnight to 12, from midnight to 6 a.m. That's when we'll see the next round come through. What about Macomb? Macomb, let's see. Let's see with Macomb. Macomb's clear for now. You might have some rain showers come through. Macomb's going to be one of the first cities to get the system, the second wave we're talking about tonight. Macomb will probably see some more storms that have tornado potential, probably anywhere starting from 10 p.m., maybe 11 p.m., between 11 and 2 a.m. What am I saying? 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Sorry. That's when we're going to see really these next batch of storms that have tornado potential come through. Is somewhere around midnight will be the start of that around the Macomb area, because that's in southwestern Mississippi. So Macomb should be good for the next few hours until the morning. So just have your alerts on. Just have your alerts on for a tornado warning after that. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. I've been up since 4. Got a 2-hour nap in. Slept for 3 hours last night. It's been a really long day so far, and it's going to be even longer as we go throughout the night. But yes, Macomb, you're good for now. And we just have that tornado potential tonight in several hours, so have alerts on. But yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to sit here and watch the radar. Not right now, probably in a few hours. We could see another spin up happen before too long. But like I said, that tornado threat is after 11 p.m. So anyways, if you need anything, make sure to send me a message. I respond to messages and everything. And just stay safe. Be ready for that tornado watch that will likely get issued tonight. So if your phone goes off, it's more than likely going to be a tornado watch before it's a tornado warning tonight. But just be careful, because a tornado watch will probably be issued, and then have your alerts on just in case you get placed in a tornado warning. So anyways, thank you all, and God bless, and I will see you guys probably